got 25 minutes. We got to go.
What is up? What is going on? Say that, nation. Happy Hump Day! Hump Day, folks.
Happy Hump Day.
What's going on, Jeannie? What's going on, everybody? If you are jumping on, guys, drop something in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from, guys. Today is going to be an amazing show. We're incredibly excited to be on here with you guys again another Wednesday. Janelle, how are you, sis?
I'm doing really well. It's a beautiful day in New York. For anybody who's
Absolutely.
in New York, today's a great, lovely day. Sun is shining. Excited.
Absolutely. All right. So, guys, if you are brand new to the show, something that's a theme that we've been doing recently is just walking you guys through how that would run. Guys, we have an amazing guest today. We have a powerful question that we're going to address. And in the first half, we're going to have our guests, go back and forth with us, answer that question, give you as much value as possible. But the way the show is set up, guys, you only got 25 minutes to get as much out of the guests as possible. So we have another segment that we do in our overtime platform on Patreon, where you guys can tune in for a small fee of either $4 or was it now, Janelle? $4.99.
Yes, that's
Let me
right.
clear with you guys. Either $10 or $20 roughly. And you guys can see the rest of the guests that we have on today. And you can check out some of our past overtime episodes, guys, where we've had some, again, really, really, really powerful guests be on the show. So if you want to become a member of our community, guys, we're going to drop that link in the chat. So
it's in the comments. You can actually check it in the description. Excuse me.
All right, there we go. And bring that up. But enough of that. We just want to get that out of the way, guys. Again, if you are brand new, guys, let us know where you are tuning in from so that we can reach out to you offline. Go ahead, Janelle.
No, I'm really excited. So let's put the timer on the clock. I will do the drum roll. I'm ready for the question. You ready for the question? I'm sure everybody's ready,
folks. Today's question, folks, is:
could imposter syndrome be derailing your business?
Oof.
I know I got a lot to say about this.
No, this is a good talking point, man. Imposter syndrome is definitely something that is showing up and being talked about a lot more in everyone's lives. So who do we got that's going to be joining us today?
I'm super excited to introduce our guest today. She is a mompreneur, a boss queen. She is literally helping people change their lives every single day. And one of the things that I love the most about our guest is just what a bright light she is. She literally walks into a room and it's like the sun is shining. Like she's just a bright light. And so everybody, please help me welcome Awesome Ann.
Our next guest
is Miss Annie, who's health coach and
welcome to the show, Annie.
gosh, you guys, what an amazing introduction.
Welcome.
Thank you guys. I am very humbled. It's such an honor to be amongst you guys. So for those who don't know, I have known Winston and Janelle for over a year. I met them off chance through the pandemic because of networking. We have a mutual friend, AC Williams, who is a dear, dear friend to our family. And he introduced me to these amazing people. Yeah. So there's a saying that in my networking group that you're one relationship away from changing your world. And it's true. And I have been so blessed to get to know you guys.
Absolutely.
But yeah, thank you. So I guess I want to this is a really good question. Hey, Jeannie, thank you for the warm welcome. I love it. So the question is, could imposter syndrome be derailing your business?
Whoa. See, I love this. Annie was...
Well, I was going to add, how do you overcome it? So that's what I was
Okay. But we love it, guys, because you guys can tell she's very eager to jump into this topic.
Because I was going to say, I should probably share how I got the name Awesome.
There we go. There we go.
Tell everybody. Let everybody know how did it happen.
Yeah. So awesome. So it's so much gold. Okay. My name is Annie Deering. And one of the things that for whatever reason, the way I grew up, I have always spoke negatively about myself, right? And I didn't even know, even for much of my adult life, it's this thing called the Imposter Syndrome. I didn't even know it had a name. And what the thing is, my husband is the exact opposite. James is very much we're exact opposites. He's an introvert, I'm an extrovert, and ironically the introvert is the one pouring life into me, the extrovert, right? But I don't know why, like I can like edify and praise other people, but if someone were to ask me, say something amazing about myself, I'm like
Wow.
Awkward silence, crickets, right? I'm just like, tell me something amazing about Janelle. I can like go on and on and on. About Winston, I can go on and on and on, right? So inspiring, so beautiful, such gold. And then about me, I'm like, crickets, right? And James is like, you need to learn to speak life into yourself. And it's that phrase, I'm sure you guys have heard, if you're in an airplane, put your own oxygen
mask on first,
before you save someone
else's.
And so one of the things that I didn't realize I learned is these feelings of being less than or unworthy or undeserving. Like there are things in my life where I would earn something, whether it's a 97 at school, like in grade school on a paper, or achieving like high awards in college, or even in my business. And in the moment of earning it, I'm like, yes, I did it. But then the moment I'm like, when I'm surrounded by people, I'm, basking in that celebration. But the moment I step away, there's this feeling of like, I'm overwhelmed with this feeling of less than or unworthy or undeserving. Like case in point, one of the things that I had earned in my entrepreneur career, I was in another company, and I earned a coveted spot to be on that stage in the New York Stock Exchange to ring the bell.
I remember that picture.
I didn't get to ring the bell, but I was on that stage. Like very few people in the entire world can say they have. And my brother, who's my little brother, who's in the finance world, he was jealous. He was just like, you're doing what? And I'm like, I earned this spot to be on that stage. The moment I earned it, like it was a big celebration. And then afterwards, I remember looking in the mirror and just like crying, like, why did I get this? There are other people more deserving of this. And that's later I learned that is the beginning of the imposter syndrome. And my husband had listened to a podcast about what to say to yourself when you talk to yourself. And he was struggling with his own work at the time. He was a college professor, and he's like, Awesome James is a thriving musician. He's a jazz pianist. Awesome James loves his job. Awesome James is a present husband. Awesome James is a present father. And those are things that he felt he wasn't living at the time. And so he was constantly speaking it into existence. And so I tried, like, that's where the Awesome Annie comes in. Awesome Annie thrives. Awesome Annie is amazing. Awesome Annie deserves these accolades and these awards. And Awesome Annie is amazing. Because I didn't believe it in myself. And I am so thankful that he encouraged me to speak this kind of life over myself. In that, when it comes to like my health, I went from, and this is why I became a health coach. I went from 125 on my wedding day. And I thought I was healthy back then simply because I was slender. But the truth is I had horrible living habits, like when it comes to health. So what does that mean? I was skipping meals. I didn't care about the nutrition I was putting in my body simply because I was already slender. Oh, yeah, there I am. There's me. Oh, that was a Dear Diary moment. And I was eating whatever I wanted to. I was drinking whatever I wanted to. And I remember I went to college with my elder brother, and he called me after class and he's like, hey, a bunch of us are going to the gym to work out. Do you want to come? And I was like, oh no, rude. I don't need to go to the gym. You go to the gym. That was my mindset. I had a very unhealthy mindset. And, fast forward, I went from 125 on my wedding day to 235 pounds and having 5 pregnancies. I didn't have that. Look at that picture, the 80s picture right there. Ooh. Yep. That is, yeah. That makes me want to cry. My kids are like, Mom, I don't remember you like that. I'm like, well, here's proof. I used to be like,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And the thing is, like, there are things in my life that should have been alarm bells. Like, I think I'm beautiful in that picture. You can see I'm happy. I was enjoying the 80s party, but you can also see there's
Sadness.
misery in my eyes. There's
Yeah.
inflammation in my face, swelling in my belly. Like, I'm not pregnant. I look like I'm pregnant. But the smile is brighter and shinier in that second picture, like living, like I'm actually living. I like the first picture, it's like a chore. It was a pain to get up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the where the imposter syndrome came in, I had been yo-yo dieting for years, and the desire to get healthy was there, but I didn't think it was ever possible to get that I would ever reach there. And what is the imposter syndrome really? It's lies. What does the word imposter mean? Lies. And so I realized that here I am telling lies to myself about my health. I'm like, well, James loves me. The children love me. I'm yo-yo dieting. I can lose the weight, but I can never keep it off. And I'm gaining everything back. And those thoughts in my head of, well, I guess I'll never reach there. Lies. Lies. It was lies. And I can tell the truth to other people, but I had a hard time verbalizing what was possible for me. So James encouraged me to start speaking truth. So what is the opposite of those lies? Well, when I started to change my habits as a client of Optavia, I was on the Optimal Health 5-in-1 plan. So if you want to put the health disclaimer there, Janelle, I was able to go from 235 to the 150s, just living a healthier life. I started speaking truth over my health, and we'll get to business in a minute. But I started speaking truth over my health, and what does that look like? Awesome Annie is healthy. So imagine I'm 235 pounds. I'm at that picture there, and I'm saying Awesome Annie is healthy. To be told by a doctor that I'm pre-diabetic, I'm saying no. Awesome Annie is not pre-diabetic. Awesome Annie is healthy. Awesome Annie is raising up a healthy family. Like, as a mother of 5 children, I have bookend boys, 3 girls in the middle. I didn't want to posture this unhealthy life and pretend that it's okay to be eating, things that are not nutrient dense. But I wanted to teach them food is not good nor bad, but rather you need to know what you're fueling your body with, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And so that's where I wanted to posture that healthy living. So Awesome Annie is healthy. Awesome Annie is a healthy wife. Awesome Annie is a healthy mother. Awesome Annie is posturing health to her family. I wanted to do that. Well, that imposter syndrome also leaked into my business. And so that thing about earning that spot, that coveted spot on the New York Stock Exchange, my first initial thought was, I don't deserve this. But no, Awesome Annie deserves this. Awesome Annie deserves to be this amazing entrepreneur. So I was actually unemployed when I became a coach. I decided to do this as a side gig. I kept looking for another full-time corporate job because I didn't think I could ever be successful as a health coach. Lies, right? Those are lies. And on trainings with Optavia with my team, I would see these just ordinary people like me, moms, parents, entrepreneurs like me, reaching extraordinary goals, reaching amazing incomes, amazing ranks within the company. And I was like, I don't know if I can do that. Lies, right? Why is the imposter syndrome talking to me? Lies. The imposter syndrome would whisper, I'm just ordinary and I would never reach those goals. But the thing is, when my world collided with me getting healthy and then sharing with others how to get healthy too, I was able to walk them from their moment of despair, which I used to be there. I didn't think getting healthy was ever possible. Now I have hope. So I'm meeting them where they're at. that moment of tears, that moment of I don't think I could ever get healthy. I hear the imposter syndrome whispering lies in their health. And I'm like, I got you. Borrow my faith. Come with me on this side. And so then I'm like awakening that health in other people. The more people I ask, I'll ask them now, what does the healthy, awesome version of you look like and feel like? The more my business grew. When I hit ranks within Optavia executive director, I realized that I'm an ordinary person, but I am doing extraordinary things. The opposite of imposter syndrome is the truth. So in order to battle the imposter syndrome, you have to not think the truth, because imposter syndrome is thinking lies. We don't ever say it out loud, but we think it, right? The opposite is to then speak truth and power and just break that chain of the imposter syndrome. Now, am I perfect? No. Progress over perfection. I was telling someone the imposter syndrome voice may never go away. It never really has gone away. I still battle it. Even now, this past March, I hit an amazing rank of global director within Optavia. And it changed financially our family. Put the financial disclaimer in there, please. It changed the financial trajectory of our family. But when April 1st hit, it's just like, did I really do that? Do I deserve this? And it's like lies. No, I am global director. I am Awesome Annie and I'm global director. I am running for integrated presidential. I am Awesome Annie and I am integrated presidential. So it may not be a cure, but it is a true paradigm shift that will help fight and silence those voices. So again, the opposite of imposter is truth. And the way I've quieted and sometimes silenced the imposter syndrome is by things that are not thoughts, writing it down, speaking it, reaching out to someone to help. Like I reached out to Janelle and Winston. They were asking me like, what could I talk about? And I'm like, this is something that I've been struggling with. Like here I am, high rank within I think it's like 0.7% of the company in leadership. And I'm like, don't feel like I deserve it. Why don't I deserve it? I'm Awesome Annie, right? And so the imposter syndrome leads to complacency and comfort. So the opposite of that is truth and action. And I just need to speak truth. Like our family, we get together and we cheer each other on. I am Awesome Annie. I'm like, mom is awesome mom. And she's global director. Kids don't know what global director means. They don't know what integrated presidential director means, but they have been speaking it over me. So when it comes to your business, is your imposter syndrome derailing your business? And the way you know it is, how do you feel about your business? Do you feel you deserve those earnings, those awards, those accolades, or whatever that looks like? If even for a brief second, a thought crosses your mind that you don't, crush that lie. Crush that lie. Tell the truth. Say the truth over it, which is, I deserve it. I am Janelle. And I'm an amazing podcaster. I am Janelle, and I'm an amazing educator. I am Winston, and I project. I
pick things up and put them down. Yeah, I pick things up and put them down.
Yep. Yeah. So, like, I always encourage people, what does the awesome version of you look like? Whether it's in your health, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your finances. When people say I can't, if you say you can't do it, it's true. If you say you can, it's true.
Oh, I have something to ask. Okay. So the thing that comes up for me, and I completely, agree with where you're going. It's, think about for the person who may not have actually achieved anything yet. So it's the imposter syndrome, I think, is funny because it can even keep you from getting started, right? So it's the I couldn't even. So there's the side of it where you've done the thing and then therefore you don't believe you deserve the praise that comes from it. And then you could actually lose it because of that, right? Because then you start self-sabotaging yourself. And I do want to talk about that, at it, like self-sabotage, what that looks like. Because I'm pretty sure you can see it in diet and health, just like you can see it in business, right? For poor food choices as opposed to ones that would, to your point, Annie, what are you eating for? Like, what are you eating? How do you feel your body? Things like that. Right. But what would you say to the person where imposter syndrome is showing up even before, especially even in our industry? They just got started with what they're doing in network marketing. and they can't even believe that they're going to get when there was a company so it was just to get your fees waived, that was an opportunity, if that company has a platform like that, or in others is just to even earn that first check, make your first sale. I forget what the percentages are across the entire industry, but it's a vast number of people who never make any sales who get involved with this. So the first, good.
I was just saying, no, that's excellent question, because like, I love it. The first thing is the desire there? Because that desire is the spark. If you even have just a spark to try, the first step is to just try. And the thing is, our human nature is comfort. We don't like to chase. We don't like to be chased. We love comfort. And so, like, when it comes to food, for example, if someone passes away, we bring comfort food, right? We don't bring salad. We don't bring veggies. We bring comfort food. And so to change that, like, we need to break away from comfort. This is a quote, and I'm going to totally misquote it. I wish I had it in front of me. But when you said it, it just, oh my gosh, that's a great quote. It's the most addictive behavior, poison, addiction is comfort. More than pornography, more than drugs, more than other addictions out there is comfort. We as humans thrive on comfort. So things that are uncomfortable, trying something new, wanting to grow in a business, it's uncomfortable. We're like, we don't want it. And a lot of us are perfectionists. It's like, well, if I can't do it right, I don't want to do it. So one of my mentors, and I'm a type A, I'm a recovering perfectionist, let me tell you. One of my mentors, Dan Valentine, he shared this, and it speaks to me daily. Imperfect action is better than perfect inaction. Because we can all do perfect inaction really well. I mean, imposter syndrome has taught me I can do nothing really well. And so that idea of like, wait, what? You want me to do imperfect action? Who does that? Who, like, I'm the one that grew up like, if I got a 97 on a test, my parents
was like, oh my God,
what happened to the
3 points? When you said that, I immediately thought that.
What happened? Why did you get 100?
Well, I was going to ask you, how much do you think that plays? Who was it? Jenna, I don't know if there's like a voice in your head, and the voice is like your parent or whatever. It may be one specific parent, or it could be both. And they're that negative, maybe not. I don't even know if it's negative.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
Okay, it's true. Like they're that voice that when you do something, you just don't live up to this idea of 100 or perfectionism. Exactly. It's like we don't realize that. Oh my God, it was a book. Oh, okay, I remember what it is now. Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. He talks about it. He talks in there about the idea of how the school system is set up. And because it's based on these grades that aren't necessarily true tests of your actual intellect, but instead teaches you a system of judging yourself based on performance. And therefore, it actually limits over time. I think they're maybe doing studies or have already done. They've seen that people are actually less adept, like because of schools, less willing to take a risk because they don't want to be made to look foolish. They don't want to be embarrassed. Even remember, I mean, you could think of even maybe in movies, but I've had examples personally of a teacher calling me stupid because I said the wrong answer. And thinking that I guess that I was trying to joke. And obviously there's some scenarios where somebody is just kind of playing around. But we've all seen that where someone will make you feel small for trying to figure something out. So it's like you don't even raise your hand, or you being a meeting, you have an idea, and the whole thing is I don't want to say stupid. Or actually, the study of nurses who won't correct doctors who are clearly making mistakes because they don't want to be reprimanded or be told, hey, maybe I do know more than you. It's scary. Insane. It's insidious.
Yeah. Insidious is probably the best word.
My daughter, my youngest daughter, she's in the gifted and talented program here in our district. And I was shocked. She came the other day.
All right, let's give it up.
And,
give it up.
Well, she told us, she's like, I don't feel like I belong. I have the lowest grades in that class. I mean, they're very good grades, but I have the lowest grades. And I'm like, Yes, you
That's
belong.
awesome.
You earn that spot. Like,
Yeah.
the imposter syndrome coming into her life that young.
Wow.
I'm just like, what is happening?
Wow.
Like, and that's like, as a coach, we don't posture like fat shaming or body shaming or whatever. None of that. Like, it's all about what do you want in life, and let me help you get there.
Yeah.
So recently, so I'm writing a book about shame. So it's so funny that you're talking about this, because one of the things that I've been learning is that perfectionism is really just it's a shield for shame, right? So if you're living in a space of perfectionism, perfection may be in the, well, Brene Brown says this, but perfectionism may be in the passenger seat, but shame is driving the car. So
Wow.
what that means is, she calls it
Wait, say that again. Ooh, say that again.
perfectionism may be in the passenger seat, but shame is driving the car.
Wow.
And what she means by that is, like, the perfectionism is this thought: if I can do it perfectly, say it perfectly, act perfectly, then it will shield me or protect me from being judged, put down, etc. And what's really, and so it's funny, because, like, I feel like the school system only helps to reinforce this
Perpetuate that.
thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's why I love the word that you said, insidious, because if you think that you can do it perfectly, right, and not get ridiculed, not get judged, and all this stuff, what's really happening is that imperfection is actually impossible to actually attain, right? It's literally impossible. Like, we are human. We have faults.
We all make mistakes.
That is exactly what being human is.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to be perfect. Ultimately, you're not going to be whatever perfect is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know what ends up happening? A lot of times it's not even the judgment of others that you're getting. It's the judgment that you do to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a failure. I didn't do it right. What's wrong with me? I'm a horrible person, right? And that's the shame. That's shame talking.
And that's why it's important to speak it out loud, whether it's tell a friend, like ask for help, write it down. So like I was writing, I am awesome Annie and I am global. I am awesome Annie and I am integrated presidential. I have a thriving health coaching business. I would write it down. I would say it. I am raising up a mentorship. Like, I'm an amazing mentor. So I ask people in the business, like people who are entrepreneurs, what does that awesome version of you look like? What does that awesome version of you feel like? What does the awesome version of you do to grow your business? Like, what does the awesome action steps look like? What does your awesome business look like? And then fill in the blanks. I am awesome. And then fill in your name. I am whatever your dream is, whether it's financial freedom, and or I have a thriving blank business, whatever that looks like. Write it down, speak it, because that's the beginning of that spark that will move you into action. Any step forward is what you need to keep you from derailing your business.
Wow, that's big.
That's big. Yeah.
This all makes me think of like incantations or manifestation to a certain degree, because one of the things that I've definitely found is that I did a coaching with a woman, and she had me actually give my driver. Janelle said it was shame, but I gave my driver a name. His name was Freddie, and whenever certain thoughts would come up in my head, it would be me having to say, "Oh, Freddie's driving," because it's and there's another woman I listened to who talks about, you hold the thought for a certain period of time, other just congruent thoughts will come along, and whenever Freddie's driving, this man is taking me down the wrong road in terms of thoughts. And it is one of those things, you said it earlier, Annie, about it's not constant, but it's a journey, and I don't know if any of us will ever completely quiet it, but you can certainly create systems, I would say, around helping you. It seems like you've kind of got a handle on that to a degree.
Progress and perfection. Yeah, and that kind of leads into this last thought of we talk about how strong our minds are. If we were to separate our mind from who we are, so separate the mind from who we are, we realize our mind is weak.
Yeah, it does nothing.
You want to know how weak it is? Think of an elephant. Actually, don't think of an elephant. Don't think about an elephant. Stop thinking about an elephant. Right? Yeah. That's how weak our minds are.
Very subjective. Yeah, we're easily. So I literally was having a conversation about that with someone about this today. Oh, okay. So hold on. So, all right. So, guys, you know what that bell means. We're out of time, but I do want to ask one last question. And then we are going to take this into overtime. So again, if you jumped on late, in the description is the link for the rest of this conversation we're going to be taking with Annie into overtime. And before I ask my question, I do want you guys to be able to connect with Annie. So we had her social media up earlier. I'm going to throw that back up again.
She's a real person. She'll actually respond to you. So reach out to her.
Absolutely. And I was actually going to suggest, guys, if you were on what Annie suggested that you guys could do, I would say DM Annie what your blank was. Whatever you filled in,
put in the chat,
for that.
Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you don't want to drop it in the chat, guys, you can send it to Annie personally at Awesome Annie on Instagram. And then Annie, you have a website. I know.
Yeah, it's awesomeisamazing.com.
Let me bring that one up too, so I know we can get that link tree.
Awesomeisamazing.com. Yep.
1 second. And so, guys, and for anyone who's on, guys, let Annie know how much you appreciated her being on. While I bring this up, here's Annie's website right here.
And for those of you who are not community members of ours on Patreon, there's still time. You can go to the comment section. It's either right now. It's either $4, $10, or $20 become a member of ours, and then you can actually see the overtime with Annie and other overtimes that we've done in the past. So there's still time to do that right now.
All right. So there is her website, guys, which you can find right off her Instagram. So my question. When you think of it in terms of being subjective, why is it easier, do you believe, that even with affirmation, positive things, we have to listen to so many of those things I mean, for me, it's like daily. I'm like leaving these things running at night, all these things, having to consistently positively reaffirm myself as often as possible. But I don't remember ever sitting down and listening to tapes going, you suck. You're awful. You're this, you're this, you're this. So why is it that it seems like we need so much more conditioning to try and get ourselves into the right mindset, but very little to talk very poorly about ourselves?
Ooh, that's a good one.
And you'll answer that in overtime.
That's a good question.
All right, awesome. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe and to like if you enjoyed what you saw today, got value out of anything today. This helps YouTube deliver the message to more people. So please, please, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way you can also get alerts for when we're on again next Wednesday.
Absolutely. So, well, actually, no, the season's over, buddy.
Oh.
No, guys, we're taking a hiatus. No, I'm teasing. All right, we'll see you guys.
That's cold. That was painful.
Oh man.
Hey,
AC's on.
What's going on, AC?
Yeah, if you haven't
catch
seen
us in overtime.
Yes. As always, remember, you deserve the good life.
Say that. See you guys.